Captain Marvel review, a clever addition to Marvel Cinematic Universe, and just in time mdash. 3 stars, rated PG-13, 123 minutes. Unlike most of its superheroes, Marvel works within well-established systems to accomplish its goals, in this case, the corporate refineries of Hollywood and its theatrical and home video pipelines. The Avengers may be wrecking cities in order to save humanity, but Disney-owned Marvel is more interested in polishing existing ideas and watching the money pour in. However, that shouldn't discount Marvel's risk-taking, calculated though it may be. Captain Marvel is the latest link in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's decade-long, 21-film and counting chain of comic book adaptations. It isn't as epic, but it is a long overdue addition that finally lets a woman lead for the first time, and an acrobatic bit of narrative choreography that adds to and stretches what we already know about the MCU. We're introduced to the would-be Captain, first known as Bear, played by Brie Larson, on a mission with her fellow Kree warriors, a blank-faced, highly trained force led by Jean-Rod Jude Law and various glowering, blue-skinned killers. The symbolic the Kree are at war with the shape-shifting Skrulls, and the brutal dynamics of their fight recall contemporary conflicts in their collateral damage and deception. Larson excels through her flashes of memory and disciplined training. Bear is also waking up to the fact that she possesses an untapped power, even if her trainer, leader, and ostensible father figure Jean-Rod assures her, there is nothing more dangerous for a warrior than emotion. Humor is a in other words, be a machine and don't think about what you're doing. That's something Bear, with the words of the Kree Supreme Intelligenza Annette Bening, as an AI projection fresh in her mind, Bear begins the same journey into a secret past that we've seen in numerous Phase 1 MCU entries, from Thor to Iron Man and Captain America the First Avenger. In stumbling fits, the film plants its feet in shallow waters, trading in timeline, establishing cultural references that feel as awkwardly broad as they are tacked on. Please, hold your blockbuster jokes for another decade or so. Luckily, at this point in his life, Jackson is basically just playing a composite of all his previous screen roles, with an emphasis on the coolly capable Jules Winfield from 1994's Pulp Fiction, incidentally, the year before Captain Marvel is set. That's not a bad thing given Jackson's charmingly calibrated MCU turns and his chemistry with Larson's fish-out-of-water Bear, who's beginning to realize she's actually a former Air Force pilot named Carol Danvers. Well-written and credibly acted supporting characters such as former U.S. Air Force pilot Maria Rambeau Lashana Lynch and the unpredictable Talos Ben Mendelsohn, doing what he does best as a creepy yet vulnerable Skrull, help pad what feels like a throwback to an era of less visually crowded, CGI-driven action flicks. But since the plot is built on twists and revelations, there's little else to say that won't spoil it for most viewers. The references to it, unlike macho, hyper-violent sci-fi titles, Captain Marvel feels inviting to both kids and hardcore MCU devotees. Not because it's whole, Captain Marvel has fun with itself in other ways, incorporating warm synthesizer into a fine orchestral score that recalls the classic Doctor Who theme as much as Rick and Morty. As its story encouragingly, there are a handful of cheer-worthy moments that rival Rey's third-act discovery of her full powers. In Larson has a lot to shoulder, as the script, written in part by directors Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, layers weighty, relentless change on her back. But she has nothing. Larson can turn a moment as slight as walking into frame and blowing a strand of hair out of her face into an uproarious, powerful visual beat. Never mind that, as it hurtles toward its next point on the timeline, Avengers Endgame, scheduled for April 26, the MCU remains an exciting, occasionally disorienting place. The fact that they're years late to the game in having a woman lead one of their movies doesn't change the fact that they're finally doing it. Think of this, and other self-consciously diverse additions to the MCU as the spires on a long and ornate build like Barcelona's centuries-old construction project Sagrada Familia. Things are only. John Wenzel is a reporter and critic at large for the Denver Post who has written about comedy, music, film, books, fine art, video games, and other popular culture over the years. What to do, where to be, and what to see, from. Sign up for our Now You Know emails to get breaking entertainment news and weekend plans sent right to your inbox. Your email address, so we can reply.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.